up, Hope Nation family? I pray all is well with you. It's your boy, Dr. J.C. Howard, and I am super excited today. We are bringing you this content via Hope Nation TV, the content that we have provided for you today is going to be absolutely motivating. It's going to be absolutely encouraging because today we have someone right from within our village, right here from the House of Hope Macon Church. She is bona fide Hope Nation. She's been with Hope Nation from day one. She connected with the House of Hope Macon Church at the very launch of our ministry when our overseer, Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr., planted the church in Macon, Georgia. Her and her phenomenal husband, Rashad Abad, I'm going to talk about more about him in just a second. But they are just phenomenal leaders in our ministry, and they're doing a great work in the city of Macon, Georgia. But I don't want to talk about all that. Today is about entrepreneurship. This woman of God, this sister that is about to just essentially introduce herself, Sister Kimberly Obama. She's an educator in the Bibb County school system. She's going to talk more about that. But today we are presenting her book. She is a new author. She's a rookie author. She is a rookie author. She has just written and published her own book titled Dear Black Girl. It's titled Dear Black Girl. I'm so excited about this book. This is my own personal copy, Hope Nation TV, all right? So y'all can't have this one. This is for me. It's going in my collection, but I bought one for my daughter who will be turning 18 years old in October. Y'all pray for me. I bought one for my daughter for her collection, and we've purchased copies for our entire youth ministry, for the young girls in our entire youth ministry. This book, although it is designed for young sisters, it's for any sister and brother. And so, Kimberly Abad, welcome to Hope Nation TV. We are so happy to have you. And first of all, congratulations on writing and publishing your new book, Dear Black Girl. And I'm excited it's a book for children, but this thing right here has a message for everybody. And so, Kim, do us a favor for those of us who aren't familiar with you personally, you hometown. And so most people on here checking this out or know you and are cheering for you, but tell us a little bit about your background and what got you to where you are today.
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you for having me here, Pastor Howard. Thank you so much. I am Kimberly Obama. I am from Macon, Georgia. I'm born and raised here in Macon, Georgia. Shout out Mactown.
Indeed.
I grew up here, the Bibb County Public School System. My roots are here. Abad is my married name, but I was a Lowe, Kimberly Lowe. So everything that I know, will continue to learn is all coming from here, my hometown, Macon, Georgia. So that is where I'm from. My roots, they're from here. Little Southern belle, little country girl. Yeah.
So you're now an educator. But you and your husband are educators. And let me add this caveat. Shout out to her husband, Rashad Abad. That's my main man. He actually is the leader of our fitness ministry. Here it's called Hope Fit here at the House of Hope Macon Church and Hope Nation. We got to get back in the lab, Rashad. We got to get back in the lab real soon. But you are you're a passionate educator, but the Lord has opened up a new lane for you. And I'm excited about it. And like the doors are just opening left and right. You have now written and published your own children's book, Dear Black Girl, and it's certainly a direct kind of a book in terms of your audience, who you're speaking to, clearly. Although it's not limited to the Black girl. But tell us the process of what brought you here to write your own children's book, and give us a glimpse for those who haven't read yet. Give us a glimpse of what the book is about and how you came about putting it together.
So, as I said, I never wanted to be an educator, but when I started teaching, I realized that young girls, and I've always taught high school, let me say that.
Okay.
I've always taught high school. And so I noticed that young girls would listen to me. They would come to me for advice. We would talk, we would converse with each other. And I realized that I was making an impact not even knowing that I was making an impact, just being myself. I would always tell the Lord, I want you to get a return on your investment, whatever that is. And I want to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do here on in this earth while I'm here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, last year, everybody knows that we abruptly um, left school a year ago. March was a year.
Yeah.
And I've just noticed that I've made connections. I've made connections over the years. Honestly, this book is not something that I haven't done. I've just put it on paper
Okay.
because I've always been just a mentor and a leader and just being who God has called me to be. So, Dear Black Girl, Equip, Empower, Enlighten does just that. There's this quote by Frederick Douglass. He says, "It is easier to build strong children than repair broken men."
Talk, talk.
As I, over time, I've seen young girls in high school, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, if I could have just gotten to her when she was about 10. Oh Lord, if I could have just said something to her when she was about 8.
Wow.
And just, just wanting to dispel some things in the Black community amongst girls, to encourage. There is a light that I believe that every Black girl has in them. Sometimes it's dimmed even before they know it. Sometimes it's on and they don't know what to do with it.
Mm.
So I felt as if it was my job, my duty, my responsibility to make sure that the light is not dimmed. And when it's on, what do you do with it? So that is where Dear Black Girl came about. The age group is 11 to 18. That's what I had in mind. Again, building those strong children versus repairing them when they get older was what I had in mind when I wrote the book. Um, and so I address such topics as loving yourself, telling young girls love is not a feeling but a choice. You choose to love yourself every day, even when you don't feel like it. Telling young girls to be yourself, telling them to change the adjective. Somebody may call you something like bossy. Tell them you're a leader. Telling them that silence is golden, silence speaks volumes, getting them a mentor, just giving them different tools and nuggets to put in their toolbox. So, although I haven't experienced that yet, if I keep on living, I will, and I will have something to help me along the way once I experience those things. So, I mean, that is the premise behind Dear Black Girl. I want to equip them.
Yes.
I want to enlighten them, and I want to empower them. Black women are so we're mighty. We are forceful. We are a force to be reckoned with.
Amen.
And sometimes it can be negative versus positive. And so I wanted to dispel a lot of things. There's no such thing as talking white. Mm-mm. And there's no ethnicity attached to derogatory speaking either.
Right.
Don't let anybody tell you that. That's foolishness. So those are the type of things that I want young girls to understand at an early age so they can spot the error along the way.
That is absolutely phenomenal, and I think it's number one, it's brilliant because it's necessary. But number two, you said something, and you were really talking around, and I think it's in one of your chapters. But you were talking around mentorship, how you are a mentor, which kind of led you to write the book because of the way that you have the ear to young sisters, and being a mentor shows you that, oh well, let me compile some of these lessons and in a book so that I can share them with whoever may read. And I think it's so phenomenal. But mentorship is such a lost art these days, Sister Abad. It's such a lost art, and I just want to commend you for championing mentorship, number one, but not just championing it, not just telling people they need to go find a mentor, but practicing what you preach and being a mentor. With that being said, and I know it's hard because I know every one of them is your baby. It's like somebody asking you, who's your favorite child, right? Which chapter, and I'm springing this on you, which chapter is your favorite chapter? If there's one chapter you say, listen, if you got to read this chapter, if you don't read anything else in the book, we want you to read the whole book, by the way, but if you don't read anything else in the book, this is my chapter, read this, and it's going to change your life. It's going to inspire you. What's your favorite chapter in the book?
So that's such an unfair question, Pastor. My goodness. Why would you do that to me? Like you said, now before I answer that as I'm stalling, before I answer that, let me say that dear Black girl, I am an English teacher, and writing and reading is my passion. I vowed to build a literate America one student at a time. Our Black and brown children get lost in the sauce. You know, they want to build prisons based on third grade Lexals, and I just came to dispel all of that foolishness. Absolutely not. Our Black and brown children will learn how to read. That being said, the book is interactive. I wanted to just let people know that. So at the end of every chapter, I pose a question, and there are lines in the book, and I want girls to write, to interact, to reflect. I pose a question, and I want you to reflect. And I mean, I don't want them to. Of course, you might not reflect after every chapter, but of course, I want just thought-provoking thinking. I want people to be able to think. So if I had to choose a favorite chapter or one of my favorites, gosh, I would say silence speaks volumes. And I say that because I've just seen so many young girls not know the art of when to be silent, or understanding that silence is powerful. Silence is a response. Silence is golden. And we give people too much power by saying too much sometimes. And when you can master the art of silence, even when somebody is just tap, 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 tapping at you, you have the ability to be triumphant and to think and to exercise wisdom.
Wow.
So that is like the first chapter that I wrote. And I learned that over time with my mentor, because sometimes she would say, Kimberly, you need to be quiet. And it would offend me at first, Pastor. And then as I got older, I understood the art of silence and then when to use my voice. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. And just because you are able to doesn't mean you should. And when you understand that silence is also a response, you are victorious. The whole book, the premise behind the whole book is making young girls understand that they can be victorious holistically. Not just in one area or one aspect, just holistically. So if you just gonna make me choose a chapter, silence speaks volumes because the art of silence, Pastor, is piercing. It's piercing.
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant, Kim. And I'm sorry to make you to have to choose. You have so many brilliant chapters. I'm kind of infatuated with be afraid and do it anyway. Do it afraid. What?
I wrote that one for me. I wrote that one for me because I'm scared now.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
But listen, a prerequisite to doing it is not bravery. You got to do it. You can do it scared. Because like sometimes girls will say, but Mrs. Abad, I'm scared. I said, okay, well, still do it. Just do it afraid. That's not a prerequisite. You don't have to be brave to do it. You don't stop because you're not brave. You do it scared.
Wow.
Yeah. My mentor, Her name is leading lady Leslie Parrish Hurd down in Albany, Georgia. I've always been a church girl. I've always been a church girl. There has never not been a time in my life that I haven't been in church.
Amen.
And so when I joined Second Mount Olive, Greater Second Mount Olive under watch care, under Pastor Hurd, she just, I don't know, she watched me. She looked at me. She got to know me. She was reachable. She was available. She was touchable.
Yeah, yeah.
And she just loved me. She loved me through a lot of things in life. And at almost 20 years later, almost 20 years later, she is still like my surrogate mother. Like she is my mother dearest. She's always chastised me out of love and held my hand and just, just spoke to me in love, which in turn, I know how to do that now. Now I know how to mentor young girls because of who she was to me, who she was and is to me.
Wow.
There's this amazing woman by the name of Oprah Winfrey. I think Oprah is absolutely amazing.
I love me some Oprah too. I ain't gonna lie, I love me some Oprah.
Yeah. So I have a chapter in the book that discusses that talks about readers make leaders.
Okay.
And I really want young girls to understand that reading is fundamental. Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to be a leader, you need to be a reader.
You have to be a reader.
And I like Oprah because Oprah is a bookworm. She loves to read. She loves to, and just understanding different perspectives and schools of thoughts. See, when you can't adequately articulate yourself because you don't have enough words in your lexicon, then you start doing crazy things. No. You don't have to do all that. You can articulate yourself.
By using words you don't know the meaning to, Kim.
Or you have a book in one hand and a dictionary in the other. Yeah, absolutely. Pontificate.
Pontification.
And then, of course, I gotta give her a shout out. That amazing Vice President of the United States of America, my Sarah, the Kamala Harris.
Indeed.
I mean, she is
Madam Vice President.
Here. We are walking. I'm walking on glass because she's shattering ceilings, Pastor. She out here shattering these ceilings, glass everywhere. So yeah, those are just a few women who inspire me. But I also even tell my students that even if you can't look that far or reach that far, I want to be right here, touchable, tangible. 10 years ago, I traveled overseas to South Korea to teach English as a second language. One of the best decisions I've ever made.
Awesome.
And I tell students, it's like you don't have to read about it in a book. I'm here. You can go get a passport and you can do the same thing. So while you may never meet Kamala Harris, while you may never meet Oprah Winfrey, while you may never meet some of your sheroes, those famous sheroes, I want to be a living, breathing, ocular demonstration of those things that can be done as well.
My sister, to this very day, she talks about her high school guidance counselor, Miss Washington. And I knew Miss Washington, but I wasn't aside. My sister, still to this day, she talks about this woman like she's still in high school because of the impact that this sister had on my sister. And I saw that. And so, although my sister was inspired, right, by the Oprahs of the world, it was Miss Washington, right, in the guidance counselor offer that really helped her formation the most. And so I think that is absolutely wonderful to be able to create that framework, aspire to meet the big names, but there are some big names around you. There's some big names around you and people doing big things. And so I want to just say salute to you again one more time, Kim, just for being a hands-on mentor to these young sisters. How has your faith really impacted the formation of this book? How has it kind of impacted your trajectory? And how did faith lead you to write this book? Because you said you did it afraid, which means you must have taken a step of faith. And so
Absolutely.
talk to me about that.
So actually, when I started writing the book, I wrote the book. I started last year. Um, One of the things that I just, COVID has been horrible.
Yes.
The just COVID-19, just it has been horrible. However, COVID gave me, Pastor, the gift of time. I read something that said, if you don't leave this pandemic with some type of product, some type of new skill, it is not time that you need, it's discipline that you lack.
Yes.
So I wanted to use the time that God gave me wisely, to write the book. And so my faith, because again, I did it afraid. I knew God gave me this, but it was still like, but God, this is so simple. I'm not saying anything that I think is philosophically pioneering. I really want to help, but is this really going to help? And that amazing husband that he blessed me with said, Kim, you know what? You have to do this because God gave it to you first and foremost. And, I really believe in what you are doing. So my faith and, even when my faith, I'll say, even when my faith was failing, my
Mm.
husband's was never failing. He said to me, Kimberly, I am here to make sure that when you can't, I will, and I'll push you there. I'll push you scared, afraid. So, Pastor, I can't really say that it was all my faith.
Come on
It was my
here.
husband. It was my husband's faith. It was the faith that he has in Christ Jesus, obviously, because he's loving me like Christ loves the church. But then he just says, I know what God put in you. I see it and I know you're scared, but you've got to do it. And it took me about 3 months. Now, the publishing process was not long at all.
Hmm.
And it took me 3 months. And so he loved me through that because, love is patience and love is
Lord
kind.
knows it
And
is.
he would just give me these gentle reminders that you need to go ahead. You need to do this. Go ahead. And so even just putting the book out and even it being out now, it has definitely increased and enlarged my faith because I know without a shadow of a doubt that I did what the Lord told me to do. And people are confirming, if you will,
Yes.
that this is what I needed. This is how I needed it because the book is, again, it's interactive. I had never seen a book like that, but I had to be true to me and true to what the Lord told me to do. So again, it was my faith. My faith got me there because I had to tell my husband about it, but it was really his faith. And so I guess we kind of had faith squared. My faith and his faith is kind of faith squared around here because he really just he said, Kimberly, you've got to do it. And I'm gonna be here. Well, first of all, I'm gonna make sure you do it. But it wasn't like forceful. It wasn't. And he prayed, he fasted. He said, Kim, you're going to put this book out. It was his faith. It was the faith of Rashad Abad that birthed this book out of me, that made me, that gave me the courage and the wherewithal to get this book done.
Girl, you're gonna make me emotional over here. I'm getting a lot more emotional in my older years now. I don't know what's going on. But shout out to Rashad Abad. The Bible does say the two shall become one. And so y'all
Yeah,
faith together is faith exponentially, right?
yeah,
Multiplied. And
yeah.
so that is phenomenal. And it really speaks to the fact that it speaks to, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, but the importance of having the
Mhm.
right partner. The importance
Absolutely.
of having the right partner in your life and walking with the right person in your life. We're gonna have to bring both y'all back for a Make It Last Forever session for young married couples. We're gonna schedule it, all right? I'm gonna put that in the atmosphere right now. I'm gonna bring you and Rashad back to talk about being young and married and children and all of that for our Make It Last Forever. So Kimberly Obama, thank you, girl. I want to ask you 10 more questions because this conversation has just been robust, but we're running out of time. Listen, let us know a few things. Let us know if there are any more projects in the works. Let us know where we can get the book, where we can purchase the book, and what those links, and we're going to post those links. And also where to contact you, your social media, email, all of that good stuff.
Yes. So, are there any more projects in the works? We just never know what the Lord is going to do. But I will say this. I want to be a good steward over Dear Black Girl to make sure it does what it's supposed to do.
Amen.
So there is a workbook that's along the way. One of my friends who read the book, she said, Kimberly, I read it. I love it. Now you got to help me. What next? And I said, well, okay. So now there is a workbook. I do have lessons on how to equip, how to properly empower, how to enlighten, what that looks like. Because I do have a chapter that says do the work, but I guess I need to show people how to do the work, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I am doing a workbook will be out within the next couple of weeks. I am just tweaking and, praying over it and making sure that it is what the Lord wants me to do.
Amen.
It is on Amazon. Shout out to Amazon. Yes, it is on Amazon. You just go into the search bar, type in Dear Black Girl, Equip, Enlighten, Empower, and that beautiful Black girl on that cover is going to come up. Shout out to the girl that drew my cover.
I love
she
this
made
cover.
her.
This thing right here is sharp. This is sharp right here.
I said, listen, even if the book is trash, she's beautiful. She's going to sell it.
We're going to sell off this.
Yes, sir. Or you can go to my website, www.KimberlyAbad, and that Abad looks like a bad, KimberlyAbad.com. It can be purchased there too. There's a link for the Amazon website there. Social media. I am Kimberly Low Abad on social media. And on Instagram, I am a bad girl 29. So that is, Oh, Twitter. Yes. I am Kimberly L. Abad on Twitter. Kimberly L. Abad.
I had trouble finding you on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm going. I need to do that in myself.
I need you to do better.
I was struggling, but I got you now.
Yes, Kimberly L. Abad. Yes.
Awesome, Kim. Phenomenal. Thank you so much for sharing with me, sharing with Hope Nation. We're just so grateful. Yeah. Listen, you're a part of our village. And so this is just kind of organic. We don't feel any pressure doing this, but I am so proud of you. I just want to say publicly, I've told you this in private, but I want to tell you publicly how proud I am. I'm a proud pastor. I really am. I am a proud pastor. You are phenomenal. I've told Rashad, I don't know how many times, how much I just love your family. How much I appreciate your family. I just feel connected to y'all in a very special way. But this is about you. And this is about our Black girls and our Black women. And it's imperative that we empower them. And I love what you said early in our conversation. Let's get them young. If we get them young, it's easier to get them young than try to mold them when they're grown. And so please, if you will, if you're listening to this right now, I need you to get to Amazon and get 10 copies. All right. I need you to get 10 copies of Dear Black Girl. If you're a church or a ministry, you need to order this book for the young girls in your ministry. Do a book club. It'll bless your life. It's going to bless you. And listen, everybody needs to read this. It doesn't matter. We're taking the age limits off of this book. Everybody should check this book out, read it. I can't wait to read it with my daughter, Kimberly Abad, everybody. Thank you so much. You are absolutely amazing. We're praying for you and Rashad as you all are in the schools and everything like that. We certainly are praying for you, but we want to let you know that we love you from your Hope Nation family.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
It is our honor. Well, Hope Nation TV, we are so grateful that you locked in on this day. We promise you that we have more content coming your way, so stay locked. Follow us at HOH Macon on Twitter and on Instagram, House of Hope Macon on Facebook, and you can follow your boy at JC Howard Speaks on Instagram and Twitter. I love you so much, and I thank God for you. Until next time, Hope Nation, peace.